Right, hello, it's Plant Life Forever 69 and today I thought I would give you a quick Venus Flytrap update, and we're also going to be doing something very special as well that I'm really excited to do, but we'll get to that in a minute. It kind of follows on from the Flytrap update, so yeah, I'm going to crack on with the video and talk a lot as usual. Surprise! As you can see, the Flytraps are looking much better than they were before. It's got a super tall flower stalk on it. I think it's about to start blooming actually. And the plant doesn't seem to have taken that much of a hit, but I'm still going to cut it off, but I will come to that why I'm still going to cut it off in a minute. It looks pretty healthy. All of the traps are kind of sticking up. This is my DCXL and it's pretty much a very compact, squat little plant. It doesn't put up all those super tall upright traps like some of the others are doing. But not only has it got one flower stalk, it's actually got another one right next to it there. So that's exciting. I didn't know that they could make more than one flower stalk at once. So that's my DCXL. This is our Switzerland giant, also making two flower stalks. If you can see that one in the middle there, very upright. I have noticed it wasn't doing this before. My camera's focus is a bit off. Can you see that kind of perforated edge? It wasn't like that before. So I wonder why that is. I wonder what's caused it to do that. But again, it looks really healthy. The flower stalks getting nice and long. That'll continue to get a lot taller than the traps so that the traps can't eat the pollinators, because then what would be the point in flowering? And the sundews, our Drosera rotundifolia in there, are doing really well. They were looking a bit bleak before, but they've really picked up now, so that's good news as well. This is the lads. Got a bendy flower stalk there, trying to get away from all of the traps in the middle. This yellow colour I think is coming from the lights, but it's kind of like the traps getting a tan. I love that trap. I look at that trap all the time. That beautiful red teeth. You can expect the traps while it's flowering won't be as big because it's going to put all of its energy into making this flower. It's only making one flower stem as well, but I think the coloration on this guy, like look at that bright blood red trap in the middle there. That new one. Wow. I'm so pleased with how they've been doing. So this is Vlad, and as you know, I was getting really worried about Vlad because he looked so bleak. I mean, look at him. Sad floppy boy, but what I'm really pleased to say is he is also flowering. Look at that, the nice beefy stalk. He's not so much of a straight up kind of guy as our Vlad. He's not a straight up kind of guy. He sort of starts going straight up and then they kind of stay perky, but they don't go straight up. They kind of lie back a little bit. So that just seems to be what he likes to do. But he does also have the baby. He had a baby all by himself, and I thought it was dead, but it wasn't. And it seems that where it was only producing non-carnivorous leaves, it's now actually appears to be producing its first carnivorous leaves. So moving on from the quick plant update, what we're going to do next is I'm going to cut the flowers off. It's recommended you do that just because they get so tall, it really drains the energy from the plant. So if they're not growing in like optimum growing conditions, like the perfect conditions for them, you're probably going to want to cut the flower off or risk losing your plant, weakening your plant, and bad things can happen when your plant gets weak. So it's best to cut it off, but you don't have to throw the flower stalk away. No, you don't. You can have unlimited Venus flytraps if you just cut the flower off into like little kind of 2-inch segments. Then you plant that in your carnivorous soil, just pop it in, make a little hole, pop it in, and it will create baby Venus flytraps around that, and it may even still flower. So I'm really excited. That's what we're going to do now. So what I've got a bowl, I've got my Carnivorous plant potting mix. Remember to use the Carnivorous plant potting mix, not random houseplant stuff. It has to be specially done for carnivorous plants because they need really poor nutrient soil or they will die. So yeah, make sure you do that. So first things first, I'm just going to open the bag of soil because I need to fill up 2 of these plant pots. They're quite small. They're actually bigger than the one that this guy's in, but there's going to be several cuttings in each pot, and I want to fill up 2 of them to fill up yeah. So I've used about half the bag of dirt. About half the bag. It looks like a lot, but obviously that's not compacted, so the next thing that you need, if I just move my bowl of dirt for a second, is a distilled water, and I'm just going to put a little bit of it into my bowl of dirt to kind of moisten it, and that will make it easier for when we water them again. It's just going to make it easier for the water to penetrate the soil if it's already moistened a bit. So yeah, and it won't, the soil level won't go down as much if your soil is already moist, because if you put it in dry soil and then you pour the water on top, it's going to push the soil down as it compacts under the water. So top tip. Okay, so that was a struggle to get the bottle open, but I'm not trying to make mud, so I don't want to pour loads in. So now the fun part, get your hands dirty, and I appreciate you can't really see, but I'm literally just mixing the soil together. First one, just going to scoop it in. I'm going to be generous with the soil and just push it down. So you don't want it to be super compact, but if you push down and some of it has more of a depression in it, then just put some more there. You don't want to knock all of the air out of the soil. You need the soil to be aerated. I do like to give it a bit of a bang. I'm just talking absolute nonsense at the moment because I'm trying to fill the silence. Okay, so now that my hands are all clean again, it's time to cut these flower stems into sort of 1 or 2 inch pieces. So I've got my clippers here that have been sterilised. I put them in boiling water, so if anything's going to survive that, I think it deserves to live. I'm going to get as close to the base of this flower as I possibly can, but make sure that you don't cut any other growth. So just be really careful. There she goes. It's pretty long, It's nearly as long as my hand. They do get so much longer than this, but I don't want to let mine flower, so what's the point? You could make more if you let it get longer, but I think this is a good size, so I'm going to cut it kind of like this. That's what I'm going to go for, into these 3 sections. So we're going to go 1, and then this one again. So see how they're all about the same size, 1 or 2 inch kind of pieces. So now I'll take one of our pots, and I've got a little paintbrush here just because that's what I've got to hand. But all you need to do is just to make some little holes, just maybe about 2 centimeters in there. So I'm going to pop this one, and then you're just going to want to press in the soil around it. I've heard that you can also lay them flat. I'm not going to, because that seems like a weird way to do it to me, but you know, apparently it works. See? You want to make sure you're putting them, you know, sort of the base of the flower down, top of the flower up. So, yep. So this flower, the one with the head of the flower may still bloom. And apparently it smells like cat piss, so that's another reason not to let them flower. If you live in a flat like me and you don't want your room to smell of cat piss, maybe not a great idea. But it's pretty, so you know. And once you've done this, you basically treat the cuttings like a normal Venus flytrap. Give it good levels of light, full sun, and give it 50, 60, 70% humidity. Keep them warm, and yeah, you will have some flytrap babies in a couple of months. So that's the DCXL clone, and I will have to write on it that it's a DCXL clone, and I'm going to be giving the babies to my friends. There you go, and that's all you do. I'm now going to put them in a little tray of water, and get them under the lights, treat them like a normal VFT, and I will keep you updated on how they go. And hopefully in a couple of months we'll have some little baby Venus flytraps, just like the one that Vlad the dad has in his pot. So that's the end of the video, guys, but I hope you had a lovely time, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Okay, thanks. Goodbye.